Hello, welcome to Tucker Game. It's just finished. West Ham United 1, Liverpool 2 at the London Stadium. A little bit of controversy at the end of the game. We'll get into it all. We're going to discuss the highlights. Gonzo, 15 minutes in, it was a wonderful time. Be a West Ham fan. Lucas Paqueta, 3 goals in 3 games. But we're running out of plaudits for him.
It was amazing. I really liked Antonio's role in that goal as well. I mean, I think it was 2-1-2s, which I guess is a 3-4. But anyway, whatever it was excellent. And I think they were desperate not to take the goal off him, but to overplay this deflection from supposedly Van Dijk. But I thought the way he cut across the ball with his weaker foot gave the ball a fade, and that ball was. I'm not even sure it was deflected. It was going in anyway. It was a really, really good goal with plenty of swerve on it. But the run down the wing was absolutely excellent, and into that space that obviously was going to go on to be vacated all game basically. And I thought it was a really, really good, really great goal. And you know what, it sort of fed into the feel good factor around West Ham at the moment. I thought, oh hello, we're on for one here. It seemed like we were up for it. It didn't seem like we were up for it. We were up for it.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic goal. The build-up between him and Antonio, like you said, was brilliant. And it's not something you associate with Antonio. If I said to you, Paqueta did, as you said, 2-1-2s or a 3, it was a 3-4 thing, but he does that close, one touch. And it was one touch by Antonio both times. Yeah. Bang, have it back. Bang, have it back. Delicate little touches. If I said to you, Paqueta's done a 3-4, and got it back first time from someone outside the 18-yarder, surrounded by defenders, and Paqueta scored. Who do you think it is? You'd say, Bowen, Benrahma, Rice. Antonio would not be in your first 3 or 4 players. It's not really something that you associate with him in terms of how he impacts the game. So that build-up was superb. The finish was fantastic. Paqueta's weak foot as well, and it might scuff Van Dijk, but it doesn't really change the trajectory of the ball. Alisson must be unsighted or something, because it's not right in the corner. I expect the keeper to be getting that one. And they were, like you said, they were trying to blame Van Dijk's deflection, but I'm not having that. A superb strike by him. But we only had a lead for a handful of minutes, Gonzo, because, well, what Paqueta can do, Gakpo can do.
What an excellent strike that was, by the way. I thought it was just inch perfect, wasn't it, really? I mean, sometimes you just get a really good strike. Okay, maybe the defence backed off a little bit, but maybe they could have run towards him, something like that. But it was a sensational strike. It's probably one of those ones where you think, go on, hit it from there. I thought it was an excellent, really, really good goal. And it was gutting because it just didn't last so long, mate, really, the lead. And I thought we were doing well. I really did. I didn't think this was one of those times where we didn't attack Liverpool or something like that. I thought we did have a go, and I thought we'd carried our momentum into it. So it was a little bit gutting. I thought we'd actually handled the way they were playing reasonably well and kept them at bay, kept them away from goal last year. Well, I guess they were, even with that goal, they were away from goal. It was just one of those strikes that was just, was inch perfect.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Fabian's could maybe be doing a bit better, but you'll say that anytime a keeper concedes a goal from outside the box, you'll think, well, surely a keeper's got to be expecting that kind of thing. And it was interesting to see how we deal with how Liverpool play with Trent. And I think the game plan was sit on the edge of our 18-yarder, because if we go try and press Trent and Fabinho and go toe-to-toe with them, it'll leave space in behind. They'll exploit that. So we sit back, let them have the ball on the halfway line and see what they can do. Unfortunately, Trent gives it to Gakpo, who turns and hits it, and he's very quick, very decisive. It's a fantastic strike by him as well. And like you said, it's a little bit gutting because we never really got the chance to sort of gain a bit of confidence from going 1-0 up, and that feel-good factor and that injection to the atmosphere was sucked out of us immediately, almost. It was a perfect response by Liverpool. We went in 1-1 at half-time. What were you thinking at the break?
I was thinking, can I make beans on toast in 15 minutes? Which you can, as it transpires. But I was looking forward to the second half. I thought we'd played well. I was a little bit concerned with. There was massive gaps down that side. Whilst it might have been working a little bit for Liverpool in terms of where Trent was when they had possession, it definitely wasn't working from out of possession. And I thought Benrahma was killing us. I got to say, I thought he was killing us down that left-hand side. We needed to be quick and direct running, and it was just too much dithering, too much dilly-dally, too much checking back. So I was sort of hoping David Moyes would get at Benrahma and say, go, you have to go for it. You have to exploit that space. You can't keep checking back. You got, we needed some end product down that side. Now, that might have been Benrahma, or it might have been Cresswell on an overlap or something, but something really direct. I mean, it has to be said that, the best work we did down that left-hand side was when Paqueta scored. And then later on, when actually Rice did a surging run down and actually showed how it was done. But he went, bang, no, just go. Second touch, bang, past him in there. Obviously won the corner. But aside from that, I thought we'd handled ourselves pretty well. I thought Soufal's assault on Jota was one of the turning points that sort of really swung momentum in our favour. Actually, he's a robust little what's it, isn't he? Really, Soufal, and Jota was wagging his finger at him. So was Klopp. I think it upset him a little bit, actually, Gio. But I thought Rice was nicking the ball well. Thought Agurd was looking in really good form as well. So I wasn't too bothered at that point on what they would do there. And it seemed, I felt like we didn't, but we felt like we had another goal in us.
I've got two things. First of all, I thought we were quite tired. I thought we looked a little bit pedestrian at times, and fatigue was quite clearly an issue in the first half of the game, which was a bit concerning. I expected it to be a factor as the game went on, but I thought we'd managed to get to maybe the hour mark before one or two players started to look a little bit leggy. But I thought it was evident in the first half that there was a little bit of tiredness on our part. Tactically, I thought we got it right, actually. I don't think we did. I think we played the first half. I thought we played exactly the same way we did against Bournemouth and Arsenal, which is we'll sit back and we'll go. And I thought we were going. The problem is we had plenty of opportunities to create chances and we didn't take them. Sometimes it was poor decision-making. Sometimes it was just not quite enough quality. Within the first 5 minutes of the game, Bowen nicked it off Van Dijk, and the cross for Antonio was there. It was just a poor. Antonio had the ball when Benrahma was free on the left, didn't notice him, took a couple of touches. Then when he noticed him, the moment was gone. Excellent defending from Van Dijk to nick it away from Antonio, sliding in the back post from Benrahma's cross. There was enough occasions in that first half where we were in the right place at the right time, but something was lacking in the final third. Like I said, it was either the wrong decision, which Benrahma was culpable of on a couple of occasions. There was that time when Liverpool defence was at 6s and 7s, and it fell to Benrahma to hit it on his left. And I don't know what he did. We ended up having to go backwards with the ball in the end. But the chance was there. There were chances for us.
Yeah, they're right, yeah.
But we weren't clinical enough, we weren't good enough, we were just a bit slack. Whereas against Bournemouth, we took those opportunities. That Soufal cross to Paqueta, bang, header, goal, sorted, 2-0. Tonight, that wasn't there in the first half, and it was frustrating. But the opportunities were arising. Defensively, they were being tested, but I thought they were standing strong. A couple of last-ditch tackles from our centre-backs. But that is the tactics. That's how we set them up. And I feel like we almost made a little sacrifice today in order to give Benrahma that space in the first half, because Souček, Rice and Paqueta were very often outnumbered by Jones, Henderson, Fabinho and Alexander-Arnold. But we were getting the space and we were working it, but we had to capitalise on it. And that was the most frustrating thing, actually, because I'm the first one to criticise Moyes, but actually I thought he got it bang on in the first half. It's just the front three let him down. All three of them individually were culpable for it. We thought we made it 2-1, Gonzo, Jared Bowen. I mean, what a pass from Paqueta.
A beautiful pass from Paqueta, and he went and repeated it later on. But, and I'm not one for blaming referees and stuff like that. I'm not. Some of the things offside, even when they were drawing the lines.
I thought it was way too quick. Right, I've seen. It was clearly it was going to be a tight decision. As soon as you saw the replay, you thought this is going to be tight. And then, 20 seconds later, it's like, no, it's offside. I'm like, hang on a minute, wait, this is usually a 2-minute process. How have you? Have we got the best guy in charge of VAR tonight in terms of clicking the lines? Have we got the best one, or what's going on? That was way too quick for my liking.
Yeah, well, but the red and the blue line or whatever it was, it wasn't right. I'm telling you, it wasn't right. That was, I can see the chat and I can see the thing. That's the one. That was the conspiracy one. That one, I thought, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, I thought it was disappointing. It was disappointing because, you know, we were tired. You're absolutely right. We were fatigued. It's one game too many, and we still almost, got something from it really. And yeah, I mean, he did well. I thought Bowen did well. I mean, he's not had a great game. He had a quiet game, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, he tried to do exactly the same thing again later on, and clearly, no, we're not. We're not doing. We know what you're going to do. I don't think they haven't watched any tapes of West Ham because they let him do it in the first place. But at least by the second time, they've said, "Hold on, we know what you're going to do." And yeah, weird, really, really weird. But I'm telling you. He wasn't. He wasn't. And a funny thing was, I had like a multi-screen thing going on. Probably why I was running a little bit the old buffering and all the rest of it. But John Stones scored a goal. And I thought John Stones, this against Arsenal, obviously, not in our game, that would have been amazing. I thought John Stones scored a goal which was offside, a header against Arsenal. And then which they did give offside. And in our one, we got one ruled out for offside, which was onside. So figure that one out.
Fantastic passing finish, nonetheless. It's just a pity it doesn't count at the end of the day. They did make it 2-1 in the 67th minute. Matip. I mean, the worst thing is the warning sign was there, literally on the corner before we blocked the corner, cleared out, and then they went and did the same thing again. And scored this time.
They absolutely did, and the pressure was on us then. There's no doubt about it. And when we waited a little bit too long to make subs, that being said, the subs lacked any real physicality anyway to do anything with that Liverpool defence. But I think the commentator picked out Benrahma. Now, I think Benrahma had a very, very poor game today. I thought there were some tricks and there were some flicks, but there was no end product, and he did have all the space in the world. He'll probably won't play another game this season where he has that much space to do damage, and he didn't do any damage. However, I'm not laying the blame at his door for that bloody goal. There's no way he should have been marking Matip. What would happen then? That was a failure in zonal marking, and basically no one had Matip. That's the problem. It was a complete failure. He had a free header in there. So that was gutting. That goal was very. I don't think the first goal was that avoidable. The technique and everything was so good. So, you could have done a little bit, but you got to hold your hands up and say, first goal Liverpool scored, good goal. Second goal, very avoidable. Should never have happened.
Yeah, I'm just inclined to say it's a really good set piece by Liverpool, actually, because this is how we do it. We do our zonal marking, our players along the 6-yarder, right at the front post, then you've got your centre backs and whatever. We do that. And then those that are left man mark the main men. You can see Antonio telling Benrahma to get Matip because he's marking Van Dijk, and it's never going to be a fair battle.
No.
Should Benrahma be doing more? Possibly. He sort of just don't bang out the way. Thank you very much. It was a very timid way of trying to block him, but I think it's a big expectation for Said Benrahma to physically block Matip, and it's a difficult one because Antonio's got to pick which one he's got, and he's gone for Van Dijk, and it's left Benrahma with him, and he's just too strong. He goes right in the gap between Declan Rice and our other player, and the ball's right in there. But we are pretty strong at defending set pieces. It's not very often a team manages to break through the way that we do it. So I don't really want to say what we do is incorrect. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it works for us. Whenever we concede a corner, I never feel threatened too much. I don't want to start saying, oh, well, that's it. It's crap. The way we do it's rubbish. It's been fine. And Liverpool are really good at set pieces. They've got two of the best deliveries with Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. It's on the money every single time. The corner before that, like we said, it came in, Matip headed it, and Kurzweil blocked it, and he kicked it, and Fabianski saved it. The warning sign was there, but it's just frustrating. We're going to skip right ahead to the penalty. We'll do the overall thing in a minute, Gonzo, but this is where the controversy came in. What was it, 87th minute or something?
Yeah.
Thiago, it clearly hits his arm, but I guess the question is, do you think this is a penalty or not?
Yes, I do. And again, there might be the odd Liverpool fan watching this. I don't say, this, I don't say everything with West Ham. I really don't. I thought, by and large, in that game, that referee let the game flow. I thought he let tackles go on both sides, actually. I think Soufal probably should have got a booking for that. He let it go. I think there was a lot of things he let go and just said, come on, play on. But in that instance, I felt I felt that Thiago knew the ball was under him, and I felt he moved his arm down onto it. I really do, and you wouldn't convince me otherwise, actually. And I know there's that rule about how, about falling down and an arm being planted. That wasn't that. That wasn't what happened with Souček earlier in the season. That wasn't the same thing. And I felt that was because he hadn't gone down, the ball would have gone under him. Whether anything would have happened, I don't know. But to stop that ball going under him, he went like that. He basically moved his arm down. 100% on that. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Penalty. I often, well, both the same, aren't we? We call it as we're seeing quite often. We'll say that the referee got it right when it goes against West Ham, whether that's to deny us something or to award a goal against us or a penalty against us. And this is where the handball rule book changes so often, and it's so contradictory. And you have to look at past examples. Like you said, we benefited from this rule a couple of times this season with the arm under the body naturally sort of supporting themselves, if you like. But his hand's not on the ground. It's sort of like dangling in midair. And like you said, he hits it twice. It hits him once, then he hits it again, kind of thing. But also, just last week, Antonio, we conceded a penalty with Antonio come running out, and he jumped up and his arm was out and hit him, and that was a bit. And I just think, and I know this is an argument against the rules rather than what happened tonight, but how can going to ground but your arm out be allowed, but jumping with your arm out isn't allowed? And it's just the whole thing's contradictory. That's almost like saying if Antonio then jumped to the ground, it shouldn't have been a penalty because it's just such a frustrating thing. But I think tonight that was a penalty for us at the end there. I think it hits him twice, and like I said, his hand's not on the deck. It's like here as he dives in. It's like there. It's almost like what I would expect like a keeper to do if he was coming out to block a one-on-one or something almost. Very, very fortunate. Very, very lucky Liverpool to get away with that one, actually. On another day, there's only 6 games to go in the Premier League. We will see a penalty given for that between now and the end of the season. I am confident in the next 6 weeks, we will see a penalty given for a handball in a very similar circumstances as what we have just seen this evening. And that's the biggest frustration. It's a lack of consistency between team to team. It's infuriating, actually. It really is infuriating because I actually thought we deserved a point, to be honest with you, Gonzo. How did you feel the game went? What's your thoughts of the overall match?
I thought, bearing in mind we were tired, I thought we played well. I don't. It's not one of those games where I'm thinking, Moyes didn't go for it against one of the top 6 teams. I guess they're not a top 6 team anymore, so he went for it. But and obviously, we have the hindrance of playing, playing European football, which obviously Liverpool don't have at the moment, which sounds preposterous. It's crazy, isn't it? They ain't got Europe to worry about. It's only us that do. And, so I think it was one game too far for a lot of players. But that being said, no one got injured. So I was quite pleased with that anyway. But I thought we took it to them. I thought we gave them a game. And I thought we were... I was going to say I thought we were in it until we made the substitutions, but I guess the penalty at the end was still Ings, was part of that. So we could have done, but I felt we lost our bite, we lost our potency once the subs were made for pure physicality. And I don't, as much as I think Ben Rama tried hard and he did have some nice touches, he just didn't have an end product. And I think that's it. If that's as good an opportunity as you're going to get to create stuff and do crosses and do final passes. I know you had the one that Van Dijk did the stuff. But anyway, so I was looking forward. I was thinking there must be someone else on here on the subs bench who could do some more damage on that left-hand side because it's open. It was, it was like an open door basically, but someone's just got to walk through it. And, but what I didn't expect to happen was for us to be worse once the substitutions were made, and we were worse.
Yeah, I have to agree with everything you just said there. I thought we deserved a point. The boys gave it 100%. Even when they looked a little bit flagged and at times, they still kept going. And, at times Paqueta looked shattered. Then he would just find a little burst of energy and go again for a couple of minutes. Then he was walking. But this is where you have to look at the manager a little bit and say, help them out a bit. Paqueta's clearly shattered. You've got to make the substitute. You've got 5 subs available. You've got a bench of Premier League players there. You've spent 200 million to assemble a squad. So much so that Ben Johnson's not even in the squad tonight. You've got a senior player sat in the stand watching because you've got so many players available to you. And the boys have done us proud tonight. I've come away feeling quite positive tonight, actually, Gonzo. And I think on another day we do get something against a lesser team. We might even win the game. The link-up play between the front three, while at times it was frustrating, I thought it was quite good. And even in the second half, I thought the link-up play between Benrahma, Antonio, Paqueta, Rice, Craswell, I thought it was good. I was enjoying it. It's just the final ball wasn't there. The right decision wasn't being made. But in terms of like the middle third, moving us up the pitch, it was working. It was fine. And then when the subs came, I'll be honest with you. When I saw Cornet coming on, I thought, oh, excellent. I didn't mind who he was coming on for, whether it be Bowen, Benrahma, Antonio. I thought it's fine. It's fresh flags. Let's have a look. But when I saw Ings, I thought, oh, it's just. It was the most counter-attacking, one of the most counter-attacking games I've seen us play this season, and we brought on the one player that just can't do it. And I just thought, what are you doing this for? Why are you doing it? And it just killed us. Putting Ings on just killed us. The last 5 minutes suited him because we were now up the pitch. Liverpool were retreating. Now we were into Danny Ings' time. You know, he was involved in the penalty shouting stuff. Now we were into the part of the game where Ings could make an impact. But for that 20-minute period or something, he just sort of, we lost our edge completely. Any threat that we had, that out ball to Antonio, which was on, was Antonio bullying the defenders? No, that was not beast mode Antonio. But this is the worst thing. Knackered Antonio is more impactful than fully fit Danny Ings, which is just frustrating, really. I think there was something there for us to get from that game, and that sub in particular was a bit frustrating. There was a bit of me sitting thinking, well, where's Downs or Fornals? You know, Fornals has come on and got a goal at the weekend. Sure. Where's he? Kind of thing. Downs doesn't really let us down. And there was a lot of tired legs out there by the end for us tonight. A lot of it. And I just thought maybe some fresh legs could just spark a little bit of energy back into us. Individual performers?
Good. I was again, for the foot race reasons, 2 really important blocks. And had a race with Salah in this one, which I thought he did really, really well against. So that's remember against Ghent, he raced old Allbrand and did well against him as well. So he's coming up against quick players and he's doing well. So I was really pleased with that. I thought he looked composed. I think you'll still see at some point. Every so often, I think he's going to have a mare. I think he is because he tries things, he drops the shoulder and whatnot. But by and large, I thought he played really, really well today. And I thought Declan for most of the game was the best midfielder on the pitch. I think it sort of changed a little bit when Thiago came on. Maybe started to dictate tempo a little bit, finding pockets of space. Good touch player and whatnot. But again, you saw everything from Rice today: nicking the ball, driving forward, passes, tackles. I thought it was a pretty damn good performance. I agree with the front three were quiet, but they played a lot. They've played an awful lot. There's little or no doubt about that. And I thought, I thought Soufal was okay as well today. Again, there's another good performance from Soufal, actually. So many in a row from him, actually. So some decent performances there.
I thought Rice was quite sloppy tonight, Gonzo. At spells he was wonderful. Though he got back and did that last-ditch tackle on Salah, I think it was. He just come from nowhere and put the tackle from behind as well, inside 18 yards. Superb play. But I thought he got caught in possession a couple of times, a couple of sloppy passes in there. And I'm not worried about it, though. It's one of them that I will just put down to fatigue a little bit. I will just say he was just a little bit tired tonight, Declan Rice. He wasn't the only one. I think Paqueta was tired as well, but they show it in different ways. Rice is still running around in that, whereas Paqueta has a tendency to start walking about. Yeah. And I felt for maybe 10 minutes, between the 75th and 85th minute, didn't really see much from Paqueta. He was just lingering, and I thought it put a lot of pressure on Rice and Souček outside our 18-yarder when Liverpool were trying to get that third goal. I thought Souček had a really good game tonight, actually. Really busy, got stuck in, defensively really good. A bit unfortunate with his header, but he was under pressure from the Liverpool players. But I thought he got about the pitch really well, and he allows Paqueta to be lazy. I think we're going to have to accept Paqueta just being a little bit tired or whatever, and to do that, you need two really busy centre midfielders behind him, which allows that to happen. And I thought we had that tonight. Sufal, I agree with you. I thought he had a good game. Not going to mention the front three. We've already done it. And I'm not going to mention my man of match. But the other player I'll talk about quickly is Kurt Zuma. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Heading, clearing, blocking, just the guy is just he's just an incredible rich vein of form at the minute, is Kurt Zuma. It worries me a bit because I'm watching him. I think I hope he's okay, because if he gets injured, I'm going to panic. It's not quite season over stuff, but we heard the statistic the other night. We've won 10% of games without Kurt Zuma.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's not good. So we need Kurt Zuma. I thought he was terrific tonight, though. Can I get any final words from yourself, Gonzo, as well as your man of match, please?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully no harm done. And did Forest get the win in the end? I switched off my multi-screen after a while. Did Forest get the win?
Yes, they won 3-1 in the end.
Yeah. Look, I mean, hopefully we shouldn't be worried about it. We hopefully got enough points in the bag. It was never going to be make or break. That's sort of why I wanted us to rest a little bit tonight, so as we could go fresh for the more winnable game against Crystal Palace. But you know what, we almost we almost got there with the draw, and we didn't play badly. That's the thing. We didn't play badly. All that other. I mean, I'm going to do a video tomorrow morning, and we're going to be a little bit critical of a couple of things, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think to suggest the players aren't playing for Moyes anymore, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. So I think that's a good thing, and it probably bodes. That part of it bodes well for the rest of the season. A couple of other things, maybe not so much. But in terms of man of the match, I've got to give it to a Gerd. I thought Gerd was really, really good today, mate. Excellent performance, actually.
Gerd, my man of the match, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Maybe slightly at fault for Gakpo's goal, but like you said, Gakpo can go try that another 4 or 5 times and he won't score. It's as simple as that, really. Gary made the decision to let him have the space and turn, and it was the wrong one. But that tackle on Salah is worth a goal in its own way to some extent. I thought he was superb, and to have centre backs that good allows you to push up a little bit when you need to. When you do need to start going and search for that equaliser, you can do it because you know your centre backs are good enough. This first half, there was no space in behind. Second half, a couple of times they got behind us, but like you said, Gerd at one point gave Salah a 2-yard head start and still recovered and got the tackle in. I thought he was sensational. But tonight, we were unlucky. tonight. Just a lack of energy, a lack of composure, a lack of quality when it mattered. But all the bones are there for a good performance. We've defended really well. Yes, we've conceded 2, but we've defended really well. We don't often concede from set pieces. Midfielders had a decent enough game. The strikers, like I said, there was enough positivity there for me. But the problem is it just puts the pressure on the Palace game a little bit, and we're going into that one now. Yeah, a little bit more tired than we were tonight. If my biggest criticism of tonight's performance would be the lack of substitutions and the actual substitutions, funnily enough, I think he got that wrong, and that's my biggest frustration. But he's got a lot right recently, Moyes, and like I said, tactically, I think he got the tactics right tonight. It was just the substitutions let him down. Be interesting to see what he comes up with for Saturday when we take on Crystal Palace. So we'll leave it there. But if you've enjoyed this review, please do drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up underneath it. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat as well by clicking that big red button. It takes you 2 seconds and it's completely free. Myself and Gonzo will catch up with you tomorrow as we'll be looking ahead to that Crystal Palace game. The games are coming thick and fast.
Yeah.
But the players ain't getting rotated. We'll catch you a bit.